Wow! It has been so long since we've been in our spots. Episode 15.
Are you going to welcome everyone, or
I'm pulling up the questions.
do you want me to be the introduction person?
Yes, you said you were going to take charge on the podcast.
I didn't say I was going to take charge.
You said you were going to.
Ladies and gentlemen, and dogs and cats, and any other fun little pets that you have watching alongside of you.
Gerbils, chinchillas, fish.
Are you ready? It is time for the No Regrets podcast. We took another week off. Sorry for being lazy.
We were not lazy. That is the last word I would use to describe this crew around here.
We failed to prepare ahead of time a podcast for you guys. This is the fake mic. We don't need that. Welcome. Start that awesome podcast music. Matt and Becca.
What up, home corn doggies? We back for episode 15 of the No Regrets podcast. It is me, Becca. It is that person, Matt, and Blitz is making a mess with a ball on the floor, but as long as he stays occupied, I'm happy, even if I have to clean it up after. No, we're not lazy. There's the Blitz cam. We're not lazy. We just, didn't prepare. I was just saying on our trip back from South Padre, actually, no, that was yesterday. That was a whole, 24 hours ago. It just
wasn't yesterday.
No, that was yesterday.
Monday.
No. Okay, it was Monday that I was saying.
Today is Thursday.
Wow. What are days? What is this? That we just need to take our less busy weeks and double up a podcast day, which we could totally do that. My poor excuse for that is I just have everything in my week kind of timed out. Just cram so much stuff in, like Mondays I start shooting videos, Wednesdays I make sure I get my coaching video done, and then Thursdays we shoot the podcast, so I'm just going to have to hustle it up one week and double it up so we have extra podcasts so we don't miss weeks. There's too many people out there that are disappointed when we miss a week, including someone that asked a question today. Ooh. They were like, I'm so scared for when I have to wait for an episode each week. I was like, we have fans. This is getting real. Okay?
Maybe we should do 2 a week.
Post 2 a week? Do you edit this thing? No. No. Who does all the editing in here? I do. Actually, the podcasts aren't that hard to edit.
You could hire someone to edit it.
I was thinking about putting Gerard on it, but he's already editing all of the cooler things. Anyways, there's that. A lot has happened in the last 2 weeks, guys. We have some major conversations to hit. 1, the games are in Texas. The CrossFit Games are coming to our home. I think there's only one other big gym that's closer to Dickies than us. There might be some closer gyms, but I'm talking about, I'm being competitive. I'm being all territorial. I'm not going to be able to sit still. I've had way too much coffee today. I'm excited for the CrossFit Games to come to Texas. And I wasn't not excited when we kind of heard the rumors going around, but I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Games coming to the backyard. I was like, because when you want to qualify for the biggest stage of your sport, you're like, imagine, I'm going to pack up, I'm going to fly somewheres and go explore new areas. But when we get back to the games this year, we're just going to be like, let's drive 30 minutes to Dickies. That's right over there.
But how much exploration do we actually get to do when we're at competitions? Very little.
It's still like a location.
Unless you take extra time. It's not like we're exploring.
No, but you're still in a different location. Most of my traveling has just been done for competitions. Blitz! Staring at it. Did you see his face? It was like... Yeah. No, but are you excited for the CrossFit Games to come to Dallas, Fort Worth area place?
I'm excited to see what they do with Dickies because it does have a lot of flexibility with the floor plan and everything they can do. So that's exciting. I think it would still be cool. I think they can do some outdoor things if they get creative on times and places and
Do an event at 2 a.m.
the unknown and unknowable,
There you go.
baby.
Maybe.
I mean, there's as many people watching overseas that will be streaming it live as there are in the United States.
Okay, I
feel like so.
I hate that I'm going to bring this up, but you will have to talk about this on the podcast one day. Not today, because it's a whole story. But what if they did a 24-hour walk?
Oh, sorry.
You did a 24-hour walk with some
Yes.
folks that were older members here from the gym a few years ago.
It'll be 3 years in April.
Just try staying up for 24 hours, and these guys walked for 24
Yeah.
hours. Just the only thing,
Way harder than it sounds, but
yeah, but still. That day I stayed up for 24 hours. I had never done that personally. It was a thing I had to check off my
PR.
bucket list. It was a PR. I had to check it off my bucket list. Don't recommend it. You don't have to put something like that on your bucket list because you don't get anything from it besides a crappy next day. So, at least I didn't have blisters on my feet like you guys. I just felt tired for no reason. I did build a lot of furniture in the house that day, though. That was when we first moved in, and you were like, had a new dresser, and I was like, I'm going to put this thing together. Blitz helped. Anyways, how do we go from games to building furniture? I don't know, but the games is coming to Texas. Expect us to be there next year. Putting it out there. We're training hard. Things are going well. Speaking of training and CrossFit other things, we just wrapped up the WODAPALOOZA Qualifiers. Everything is unofficial at this moment in time, but we're looking pretty good on the leaderboard. I was pretty happy with a lot of the scores and just doing qualifier workouts, even in my fatter stage that I'm in.
you're not in a fatter stage. Have you gained weight yet? No.
But we're doing a lot more strength work comparative to like endurance, like gymnastics volume. Still doing a lot of running and a little bit, not even so much machine work, just running and lifting, a lot of that. So I knew I was fat when we were in the first workout, and I was like, these toes to bar are getting hard, and toes to bar are my jam. And I was like, oh no, we're doing 10-8-6-4-2, and that was getting hard. I was getting a little crampy on that one too. So, but
and
good
you got,
things.
And you got second. So maybe
salty
that should
about
give us confidence that we can focus on these other things.
When we're less fat.
No.
More-
We can focus on these other things, and you're still fit enough to qualify.
Destroying that ball.
You're still fit enough when it's qualifier stage of workouts to be perfectly fine and not be worried about how you perform in the moment at them.
We're getting strong, guys.
So
We're getting strong. I'm
that's
hyped.
the learning lesson in my
Hyped.
opinion.
Y'all just wait till I'm not fat. And I'm fat
That's-
in a good way, and then strong, and then fat, and then actually in shape.
You're not fat.
Boy, big things coming for Big Becca. I was eating more than I used to, but I do blame a horrible weigh-in for I was gaining like a half a pound on my new. Yes, I was.
That's
I
daily
was going
fluctuations.
Up. I was going up, and then we went to freaking South Padre. And then anytime you travel, it's a little bit harder to stay on that eating. So that was a little bit hard. But turning away from WODAPALOOZA, that was great. I'll let you guys know when we're officially in on all that. And we go party in Miami in January again. It was a blast. Bro, chill. We'll go party with you guys in Miami, hopefully, in January again. It was a blast last year. I got to meet a lot of you guys, and I hope to do that again this year. Good things in the qualifiers. Big lifts. Showed you up on the lift. He goes, low. Guys, the lift went well after a not
It's
great
called
attempt.
it's called reverse psychology.
Is that your strategy with me all
Yes.
the time?
Because when it comes to the lifts and you get in your head, sometimes you just need someone to say, "Oh, you can't do that," or "Why don't you go down?"
He doesn't say. He
And
never
then
says. That's the beauty of this guy.
Well, yeah, I don't say you
He
can't do
never
that.
says you can't do it, but he's like, hey, why don't we hit a lift that's 5 pounds heavier or 5 pounds lighter? And I'm like,
can always-
no, watch this. It's true. It does make me angry.
Yeah. No, what makes you angry is when I give you constructive, good criticism, not even criticism, constructive ways on how to make the lift, and then encouragement, and you're like, get out of here with that self-help bullshit.
That is
And start
exactly
like,
what
shut
happened.
up, I don't want to listen, shut up.
Okay.
Stop talking.
Okay, that is what
And
happened.
then I go, why don't we just go down a little bit then? And then she redirects all that energy into making the lift. So
We had a question a while back that
I
said,
will,
how does competing affect your relationship and training and like the coach-athlete relationship versus husband-wife relationship? And those two sides never collide. They're like very much separated. But when we're in coach-athlete mode, there's definitely like some butting heads when we get frustrated.
for sure.
That are actually really funny. So if providing all goes well with my video reviews and everything, because that's always a stressful time, maybe, just maybe, I don't know if I want to share that first attempt or whatever that attempt was, because there were multiple attempts at this lift where I had missed, and Matt was like, just use it for training. This is good training for you. And I was like, shut up! Everybody's like, Becca's all happy and positive. Wait till you see that video where there was, well, it'd get flagged on YouTube for way too many F-bombs, I feel like. And then, yeah, you were being all sweet and use it as training. You can do it. Get out of here with that. So he's like, hey, maybe we should go down to 160. And I go, Rebecca Fuselier, WODAPALOOZA workout number 2, the lift. 166. And we smashed it. That's the highlight from WODAPALOOZA. And
That isn't giving it justice. She was like so excited. I could see it in her eyes when I told her to go down, or we should go down. And she didn't say anything, and she acted like she was going to go down. And then she looked at the camera and turned it on, and she gave the 166, and I could just tell she like was loving it, just throwing it back in my face, like, I ain't going down.
I ain't going down, bitch. Okay, this is a PG-rated podcast, so that was my favorite story from WODAPALOOZA because it was very entertaining. The videos are very entertaining. But yeah, video review process. Hopefully we end up there in January. And our South Padre trip, we'll touch on it really fast. I'm sure we'll always kind of come back to some fun memories that we have in South Padre. We went to the Spyland Games that Cambro, my apparel sponsor, hosts on the island of South Padre. And South Padre is a vibe. One of my favorite places to go now. And top of my list for places to retire. I don't know where you were going to be at that time, but
What's that supposed to mean?
Would you want to retire with me in South Padre? No?
I don't even know where you're going with this.
I'm just wondering if you have another place in mind.
No,
No?
I don't have any place in mind.
Okay. I don't want to retire in Capel,
Of
Texas.
course.
Just saying. I love it here, but let's not retire here. All right, I hope you come with me to South Padre when I retire. I love it. The community is amazing. The competition was an absolute blast. Very well run. Blitz, stop messing. Blitz.
Blitz, come here.
Blitz. Meeting everyone out there was awesome. We shot some funny content, and it was probably the first, well, last year people saw it a little bit, but the first time we were really like out in front of people making a fool of ourselves, like making content, which I enjoyed, but there's still like this part of me that gets nervous shooting in front of people because I just do it all the time in the gym. Sometimes people are in there, most of the time people aren't. just because I'm running around like doing a whole bunch of things, so I don't want to get in the way. But yeah, we're making a fool of ourselves and in front of some folks, and we're having fun with it. So yeah, I hope if you guys are looking for a fun competition to go to, and they have it on next year, I think that's the plans. Spyland Games, hosted by Cambro.
Yes, it's awesome. Get to be at the beach.
Do unique events like they did paddleboard.
Yes,
this year.
paddleboard, beautiful. Like the convention center is right there on the bay. It was a beautiful sunset. People were lifting in the beautiful South Padre sunset. And they did a great job. Everything was run well and highly recommend. Super cool. And just, it's a cool time to be in South Padre because everything's kind of calmed down, I feel like.
Yeah, they usually try to plan it at a good time where it's not too wild and over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, recommend it. And if we go next year, which I plan on going, hopefully we see you guys there. That is our major chat, our 3 points we need to hit on that. Is there anything else you want to mention before we get into some awesome questions? Do you want to show your Blitz shirt one more time? We should just make Bolt shirts. Like
Yeah, guys, would you buy a Blitz shirt if we
Support
made
Blitz.
a Bolt Blitz shirt?
I'm trying to look at that and how we could put a
Wow,
Bolt twist
he's
on it.
total mess mode
Yeah,
down here.
I'm about to have to clean up a big mess. Okay, cool. I like it. Getting into questions. I'm going to read through this first question. Things are getting serious. I love it. And I'm just going to read the question first.
Getting serious.
Things are getting serious. This is a major question that we're going to have to dive into.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Becca. Hey. And Matt, they didn't mention you. Don't wave. Okay. I've recently found your podcast, and I'm on a binge. Yes. I don't know what I will do when I have to start waiting for new ones each week. That's why we got to double it up. We can't let these people down. I know there has been a lot of talk about Texas being selected as the next location, which it was, and concerns expressed about the heat in reference to competing in the CrossFit Games. I, however, have an additional concern about the location being chosen due to the anti-LGBTQIA and anti-choice problems in the state. I am proud to be a part of the CrossFit community and find it to be an overall very inclusive. However, CrossFit HQ's decision to base its biggest event in a state which is so unaccepting to such a large portion of its members is worrying. I know that this Texas is home to you, and so I'd be very interested in your thoughts on this. Big love from Thailand.
Wow, Thailand.
Man, that's so cool. Wait, before we get into this question, let's do a dance.
What
Get
is
your
that?
get your thoughts together. This is my thinking dance, and I'm like so proud that this is a big question, like to be asked on this podcast. Like, why are you guys asking us this? Like, that's how I feel. But I love it. This is why we do the podcast. This is why I want like these big questions to be thought through and answered on with us in here, blah blah blah, with Blitz. And we figured this stuff out because life be crazy and it's too short and we can't live with regrets and doing all of these things we worry about. We don't want to worry about these things. I've been up since 4 this morning and had a lot of caffeine. That's why my sentences are coming out like this. But let's think through this. Do you want to start us off? Do you need me to repeat anything?
No.
Okay. Thank you
So
for
the
your
question
question.
is like,
Thank you for your
they're
question.
concerned of coming to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, first, this just goes to like so much polarization in the country, I guess the world now. And we all live in these echo chambers of our, online or where we consume our news and different things, and we create this us versus them mentality. And I think it gives us a false sense of places or people or different things. And I would say Texas, I mean, obviously, I'm a proud Texan. I'm happy to be from here. As a business owner, I'm really proud to have my business and my gym here in Texas. But I would say it's probably one of the most hospitable places if you come visit. Like, people are nice. And obviously, I know there's issues politically and different things, and people have different opinions on that. But it's not like, I mean, I don't know, how many people live in Texas? And there's a lot of people that are part of that LGBTQ community, and I know that they might not agree with everything politically or whatever, but I think we can create this idea of if you're walking down the street or this or that you're being attacked, and I don't see that. I don't witness that. Obviously, I'm not part of that community, so I'm not the best maybe person to speak on it, but I would say, you know, our ethos here at Bolt is, it doesn't matter. We don't care. You're a human being, and we're going to treat you with love and respect and encourage you to be your best with whatever you, no matter who you are. So, and we have some values that we just ask, you know, we're a team here. We value effort and hard work. And if you're on board with that, then we're going to support you and make you the best you can be. So I just think I can see it sometimes I hear similar things on the other end, like, oh, going to this big city or that big city is so dangerous, or, you know, this issue or that issue, going to, you know, like San Francisco or everything, or all these other places, like it gets fear-mongered down here to Texans or whatever. So I think a lot of that is just people creating fear to create more division so they can have power, in my opinion. That's how a lot of that stuff goes. So I'm not saying I don't know what it's like to be this person. I don't know the exact fears that they deal with on a daily basis. But I would say most of the time, the majority of people are, I don't know, the fears that we create in our mind are way worse than the actual reality, or that maybe the fears that are fed to us in some ways are way worse, or yeah, they're bigger in our head than actually is the case. And so, I don't know. I just think we need to go back to treating everyone as a human being and not playing this us versus them game. I don't know. I kind of rambled a lot there. But
it was a good ramble.
I mean, I take
the heart.
Yeah, for sure. And I take pride in like being a Texan, and
you grew up in West
obviously,
Texas.
Yeah. And I think there's part of this too, is like, it doesn't matter what part of community. I used to be in the military, and everyone's like, oh, veterans, all militaries. There's good people in the military. There's bad people in the military. You know, even someone that politically may not agree with you, there is good people on the other side, and there's bad people on your side. Like, there's good and bad in everything, and we just need to like value people for their character and how they represent themselves, instead of putting them in groups like, oh, those are Texans, or these are San Franciscans, or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about it.
I mean, we just all trying to get a little bit closer together and understand each other, just as we're all just human beings. There are 29.53 million human beings in Texas, according to Google.
There you go.
I'm really happy that we get to answer like big questions like this on the podcast and everything. Where I can kind of speak from this is me. Personally, I'm not, like, I don't know a whole lot about politics. I don't get into that. You get into that a little bit, and it doesn't interest me. I don't get caught up in that, and I'm just the person that's just like, be friendly to your neighbor, take care of your neighbor. That's always what I try to go about, because we're so heavily influenced by like what's around us. And I personally haven't had any terrible, crazy experiences like living here, and I actually have. It's almost like most of my life as I've lived in Texas. When I was growing up, my family's actually from Louisiana, so we've always been some southern folks, but I haven't had any crazy experiences. But I'm also that person that doesn't try to dig into all of that the media and everything that tries to create, like, I feel like that tries to create that separation. I always say, just because I play around on social media a lot and have a big social media account, is I was like, I want to find and promote the beauty of social media because it has the power to bring all of us together and be able to learn from each other as human beings, or it has a really big power to be able to divide all of us. So like reiterating what you said, I mean, I think there's just a lot of like exaggeration that is caused by a lot of that. But I know from all the experiences that I've had here in our community, out and about, wherever we're at in Texas specifically, it's just like, I haven't had any crazy things, and it's always be kind to your neighbor, be kind to those around you, help your neighbor. Don't, like, if we can just do that as little, we're all these little specks on planet Earth. And if you can be nice to the other little speck by you, you get a little bit bigger. That happiness and that love gets a little bit bigger. And then you got two people to like start spreading that love. And that's what I personally believe in. If there is something I can try to say that might, in a way, this is not very close to, I'm trying to relate to someone in this situation, is like, we've gotten a lot of pushback on something like our relationship, and like been kind of put into a bubble sometimes of just like people creating these images of us and of you and of me, and thinking like we're like not great people. And we've definitely had to not combat that a little bit, but just like show that we're just human beings and we're celebrating our story, just like how you should always feel like you're just a human being and be able to celebrate your story. And then you're gonna come across people that celebrate with you, and you're gonna come across people that don't like it, that are ugly, that are mean, that are just straight up gonna tell you like these nasty things. There's good and bad in everything, not just CrossFit, not just politics, not just, it's like everywhere you look. So the thing I say is you can't let that fear like overrule you, and
don't let it control you.
Yeah, don't let it control you. Yeah. And I hope you can, if you're really worried about that, I hope you can come to Texas and experience like the love. There's a lot of love
come
here.
to Bolt.
There's a lot of love.
Come here. And I like a couple of things you said. One is, we talk about that sometimes because the world is crazy. I mean, it's easy to get caught up on like, oh my gosh, the sky is falling, this, that, the other. But we always go back, we talk about this together a lot, is what can we control? And we have this place, this gym, where we can encourage. This is the local level. This is where we can make a difference. Like, I can't control these other things going on. I mean, obviously I can speak out on certain things, but I just want to lead by example here and take care of people here, and hopefully that builds more people that are, I don't know, just better. You know, we talk about this is going to make you better in every way, not just physically better. You're going to be a better mom, dad, husband, brother, sister, part of the community, just from like physically taking care of yourself and doing hard work.
Better human being.
And then the other part to that too that I think is important for all of us, because it's so easy, like I said, I could just relate in that, you know, I've heard terrible things about certain places or cities, like I'll never go to New York again or this or that. I've heard people say stuff like that from experiences or stuff they see online. And it's like, if you like you're talking about, there's good and bad in everything. If you focus on seeing the bad, you're going to see the bad everywhere.
Bad. Yeah.
If you focus on seeing the good in people, you're going to, obviously, you know, sometimes you have to stand up to bad things, but you're going to see more of the good in people. So I think that's something too, like we can all, when someone's different, or maybe we have a stereotype because of something we've seen or an area we're not sure of, is walk into it looking for good first, and realizing like, hey, that fear might be a little bit exaggerated, or I'm letting that fear control me and dictate what I think of this person versus me making an opinion on myself. So, and like I said, when I start talking like this, it's just me being thoughtful and thinking like, this is good for me, it's good for everybody to have these conversations. I'm not trying to preach to this person. But yeah, look for good and then adjust accordingly if you need to.
There are many, many beautiful people here in Texas. And like I said, I'm originally from Louisiana, but I've lived most of my life now here in Texas. And I have to say, I haven't admitted it to you yet. I'm like, I'm a proud Texan.
You have. And you have Texas shorts.
I have Texas shorts, and now I have a Texas PVC. So I'm just like, yeehaw! Everywhere. There's a lot of beautiful people here in Texas. There's a lot of beautiful people here and everywhere. And I hope one day we can go meet all the beautiful people
let's go to Thailand. Where are you at? Let's go to Thailand.
Let's go to Thailand. Thank you so much for your question. And I really, with all my heart, I hope you get to come visit Texas and experience how great our community is and celebrate the games being here. That's a big event where I hope Texas is ready for us our crazy CrossFit community to take over. Yeah. More questions?
Let's go.
Let's do it. What are your goals for next season? To make it to the CrossFit Games and to dominate the world. I've had way too much caffeine today. No, seriously. I want to make it back to the CrossFit Games and make a statement and represent Texas for you guys and represent all of the little peeps out there. No, seriously. All kidding aside, I'm just giggly today because it's been a long week. Make it back to the CrossFit Games. You guys will see me in the Dickies Arena one way or another.
How many YouTube followers are we going to have?
Let's see.
By
By next season or by competition season, I need like a goal. By the end of the year, I want to should cross 10K by the end of the year.
Guys, we should cross. Let's make it 11K.
Okay, because we
if you watch this podcast,
we just crossed 9K.
And you don't subscribe, like.
What are you even doing?
Yes, come on. Like, if you love it, hit that subscribe button. It helps.
Wow.
It helps her make more cool content.
Plug.
And us to get somebody to maybe edit some stuff so we can make more content, or she can make more content.
God, how awkward did you feel saying that?
No, I felt it's easy to do it for somebody else.
It's
hard asking for yourself. I can ask for you.
Yeah, we just crossed 9K, and I said when we cross 10K,
let's get to 11K.
I'm painting someone a pair of shoes.
Get your friends. Get on their YouTube. Like when you see them, just go on their account, subscribe to Rebecca Fuselier.
Have you ever done that at like the Best Buys? You like pull up all of your like website on all of their phones or the Apple Store or something? I've seen people do that. Free advertising, I guess.
Go subscribe.
What is your advice?
And like and comment.
Yes, please. That would mean a lot, seriously. But when we get past 10K, someone's getting a pair of painted shoes. Custom shoes.
Oh, wow. Oh, I have an idea for painted shoes I want you to do for me.
Okay, let's talk about that.
And then we're going, no. And then...
Okay.
And then...
I'm listening.
You should make an announcement about your custom shoes. Your cowboy shoes.
Oh, I haven't posted about those.
Okay.
So.
Well,
that's coming
be on the
soon.
lookout.
I'm getting better.
For the sports fans out there.
Sports fans. What is your advice to a rookie? The thing you'd love to hear, I guess, as a rookie.
A rookie at the CrossFit gym?
I would assume so, but just in general, I guess, too, if you're a rookie. I would think everyone's a rookie at some point. Everyone has to go through that stage. Everyone has to start at the beginning, whatever the beginning looks like for them, and then build from there. And the hardest part, I think, is just getting started. And I had kind of mentioned this talking to someone else the other day. Like, I want to be a little bit wilder. I'm an overthinker when I'm trying to, like, try something new or see something I want to try. I'll kind of, like, push it off just because I don't know how it's going to roll. Like, I want to be able to jump into things a little bit more, like, head first and then see what happens. But everybody has to start as a beginner. Now, how skilled you are as a beginner is dependent on the person, but you will get better if you just keep putting in reps. And that's how you become not a rookie.
I mean, you should be excited. You're gonna get so many rookie gains for like the first, like newbie gains for the first 6 months, year, 2 years. If you just stay consistent, you're gonna blow your mind where you'll be when you look back on it. So just stay consistent and have fun, and be patient and realize like you're gonna see. I mean, you will see a ton of benefit just from starting those first 6 months to a year.
Everybody has to start somewheres, and as long as you kind of keep talking to yourself and like reminding yourself and trying to figure out why you want to do whatever it is that you're doing, if it's CrossFit, you just got to start putting in the reps. And you start gaining confidence with more reps, which helps you be more aggressive in the future and really just keep building brick by brick.
For sure.
Everybody has to start.
And fitness
as a
and
rookie.
health is a long game. Like we all get in, and there's a hint of competition, different gyms more than others, but you're in that gym, or you should. I mean, I don't know. You have your reason for being there, but a big part of it should be your health, longevity, and well-being. So
you know what's a funny feeling?
make sure you keep that in perspective.
That I was kind of just thinking through. A funny feeling is like when we qualified for the CrossFit Games, you go in as a rookie and you feel like the baby that doesn't know how to do anything. And it's funny because it's like the biggest stage where you're in this top point, less than that, whatever it is, percent, very tip of the spear. And you go in feeling like, oh, what do I do? Like, there's still those feelings, like, everywhere. You're always going to be a rookie when you start something new, and then you get those beginning steps under your belt, and then you start gaining that momentum, and you start going. That's a good feeling. Being a rookie is usually, like, a little bit of a scary feeling, but once you get past those first couple steps and get the ball rolling, then you feel really good. That's what you strive for. Next question, unless you want to say anything else on it. Are your joints in a lot of pain while training, or have you come up with a good recovery routine? I didn't type that one out right, but so I think when it comes, no. Long story short, no. I mean, every athlete has their aches and pains, and some days are harder to push through than others. But especially in this sport, the sport of CrossFit, like, you should not be hurting like the way I would assume football players feel after they get trucked every single day. Especially in this sport specifically, you will perform your best when you take care of your body and you're not hurting. Obviously in every sport, but especially this sport. If you listen to like Chris Hinshaw talks about it all the time, especially when you get into high-level CrossFit, it's a sport of recovery. It's learning how to train hard, but then also recover to take care of your body. And if you do these things right, if you do your lifts right, if you dial in your technique, you should not be in pain when you're doing these things. Now, there is a fine line of what I do as a professional athlete and then what our members of the community do that just come in to get their daily workouts. There will be days where my body doesn't feel like 100%, that I'll still go push super, super hard in the gym and ride that line, okay? And try to find that line of, are we getting to the true red line? Are we teetering over it? And we don't want to spill over that red line to where we do suffer like injuries or anything. But we do, as a pro athlete, you do risk that a little bit more for the gains.
For sure.
You have major football injuries. So you can talk about that if you want.
Just a couple of things for like the everyday people is just, and depending on your injury history or if you are feeling beat up or you have to spend time on mobility if you want to get better. You can't just complain about it. You get people that complain a lot, but then they don't do the things that are going to help you to feel better. So making sure you're doing your mobility work if you need it. And then the magic is in the movements, that quote from Greg Glassman. It's from doing the movements properly. The reason why people get jacked up a lot during CrossFit is because they get ahead of themselves, or they get that, instead of doing mechanics, consistency, then intensity, they get maybe halfway through mechanics and they jump right into intensity. And then they don't have the consistency, or their movement patterns are poor, and that's gonna cause issues. So focus on doing the movements properly. And some days that might mean I'm not doing the RX overhead squat weight, and I'm gonna get a PVC and just move slower and make it be a mobility day. So I leave feeling good, and actually you will get more progress and benefit from that than throwing 95 whatever's on the bar and being in terrible positions. So focus on how you move and doing that as perfectly as possible. That'll help. And then the last thing is, that's the old CrossFit.com is 3 days on, 1 day off. A lot of athletes follow kind of 3 days on, 1 day off, 2 days on. But are you taking enough? You should be resting days. If you're hitting workouts with intensity, you should have a rest day every 3 days or so. So I think sometimes we've gotten into this.
No pain, no gain.
No pain, no gain, but just like people are gym rats. I love it. It's awesome. But even, hey, get outside of the gym one day and go for a walk. Use your fitness outside as your rest day or something. You're not actually getting better always by just having another day trying to hit intensity at the gym. So
yeah.
So those are
this table is wood, right? Knock on wood. I haven't had any major injuries from CrossFit, and I want to keep it that way. And it comes from taking care of my body and feeling good when we train. And there was one other thing I was going to say on this. Oh, training is a lot more fun when you feel good. It is so worth doing your mobility and accessory and working on technique so you can hit your training with intensity and have good habits in your bag to let it rip and be confident in how you move and that you're not going to get injured. It is sport. Injuries do happen. You take that risk when you enter any sport, but yeah, training's a lot of fun when you don't hurt. So your goal should be, if you are in pain when you're training, let's try to figure out how to not be in pain first before we do crazy things. Thank you for your question. I like that one. Next question. What do you eat before a competition? Bagels. It's true. We always have a bag of bagels around. Carbs. We've been over this in some past podcasts. We're always curious about what nutrition looks like in training and then competitions, how it changes and everything. But yeah, you'll see me with bagels. That's the food I'm going to mention today. I always think about mac and cheese, though. I don't eat that during competitions. Oh, at WODAPALOOZA last year, do you remember when my parents showed up with a bowl?
Sniff mac and cheese and then take a bite of broccoli or bagel?
Not broccoli during competitions. Not dense enough. You remember at WODAPALOOZA when my parents brought down a bowl of mashed potatoes from the room for me to eat? It was awesome. Those mashed potatoes were great. It was just my parents walking into the venue with a bowl of mashed potatoes. Carbs. Get them in if you're competing. Oh, fun fact about South Padre. Matt was just throwing out tips to people that they had to do 4 workouts in one day. And then some people were really getting the crampy quads and everything and having a hard time recovering for the last event. He was like, get that sugar in there. And people love when you hear that, sugar, but helping you recover. He was just spitting out tips out there. Man.
Well, I think, a lot of those people, they're doing 1 workout a day, maybe sometimes 2 a day.
Yeah, doing
Jump
4
to 4 a day.
I was like, these guys are beasts.
Your body needs fuel now.
Granted, they were all different types of workouts. Short a little bit longer. But yeah.
But I mean, still CrossFit, like mostly anaerobic burning your glycogen. You need more carbs.
Yeah. Coach Matt Baer to the rescue. If you weren't doing CrossFit, what would you be doing? I ask myself this question all the time. I would think I'd still be doing something in the world of athletics. Some sort of sport. Hopefully making content doing something else.
WWE?
Yeah. Guys, there could be a chance, like, if I really, I love the WWE. I could see myself getting into that. But I understand that those superstars, you live that life. Like, we live the gym life over here, taking care of this business and then training and trying to be a pro athlete. Like, you got to live the WWE because they travel so much, they train so much and everything. And I'm just hoping I get invited as a guest one day. Just putting it out there. I'm available. Maybe in the WWE. Maybe just painting more, but hopefully doing something like...
You would be an entrepreneur of some sort. You would be creating or building something or something.
What would
like
you
that.
be doing? You could be like a speaker. I can see it. You're laughing. You stand-up comedian.
I don't think I can make enough money doing that.
I'm trying to think of what you would be doing.
I mean,
I would have hoped if your life
probably
was
would have
built
been-
up different, like you'd still find Blitz, and then you and Blitz would be like traveling the world. You said you want to be a truck driver. You'd be a truck driver. You and Blitz.
I was an engineer before, so I would probably be in some boring engineering job. Or some, I don't know.
No. Yeah. You confuse me. You know, you so confuse me. Like, you have this find something that works and stick with it, like, mentality. Like, you live in the grind a little bit, which is why this place is as amazing as it is. But there's also, like, the reason, like, you got out of, like, engineering.
Yeah.
It's like to start this. So you have, like, you confuse me. You have this crazy side that you could literally do anything that you want, but you're still smart about everything that you do. Where I don't think I'm that smart.
I'm a little
I'm
bit...
just like, I want to do this. Let's go do this.
I'm definitely more calculated, for sure.
That's why he's good at math. That's why I'm not good at math. Okay, I only put this question on here as a tribute to our very first Ask Me Anything video because we got a question like it, and we always disagree on questions like this.
Uh-oh.
How many chickens do you think it would take for them to take down a donkey? How many chickens will it take to take down a donkey? You always think it's only like, oh, it's only like a few. They just peck at him and everything. I'm like, oh, it's going to take a lot. You remember like the giant duck or something question? I can't remember what it was. But we always disagree on these. So how many chickens do you think it would take to take down a donkey? Donkeys are mean. Remember that.
Chickens are mean.
Chickens are mean too.
Like, are these
Dude,
roosters?
If they peck you?
Are these roosters like...
They're chickens, man.
But are they roosters? Like
It doesn't say. So
Well,
assume they're the cute little white chickens you see on the farms.
I was thinking like roosters that do cockfighting.
I mean, no. Those are like steroid chickens. I think 20.
20?
Yeah.
No way.
20 chickens.
You said I was too low. No, I
You're
was
going to go higher than that?
at least 50.
What if all 20 peck him at the same time? And he's
Pecking
just like,
doesn't kill him. It's like barely anything.
No, it would get at its feet.
He's not just going to
and
stand
he's like,
there.
He's
not
going to
stand there. No,
and
he's gonna
fall
he's
over,
gonna
and then
kick.
they're going to peck him.
He's going to kick and stomp those 20 chickens in like 5 minutes.
So I need backup chickens. So I have 20
It's
that
probably
go
more
at
like
him
100.
first.
Like
I have
100.
20 chickens that go at him
Your
first.
only chance is
And
exhausting.
peck at his legs.
You
I
have to
can
exhaust
risk a
him.
few chicken deaths
You have
from
to exhaust
the
him. Yeah.
stomping. But then I can slowly, like, bring a second 20 chickens into the fight. So 40 chickens.
It would have to be roosters because they're the only ones aggressive
Wow.
enough.
Now I'm up to 40 chickens. What were you going to say?
No, it's got to be like 100.
100?
Yes.
Do you imagine what 100 chickens look like?
You have to exhaust that animal.
I guess
that
they would fill up
donkey.
this room.
You think the donkey's just going to sit there and not fight for its life?
I don't know. Donkey's not. A donkey got 4 legs.
Yeah. Each kick kills a chicken. So 4 kicks, 4
You
chickens.
don't know
dead.
that.
Yeah, it does.
You don't know that.
Chickens are not big and strong. They're fragile. How much does an average chicken
All
weigh?
I'm imagining is this donkey like going kick, chicken dead, kick, kick, kick. Okay. Well, I landed on 40. He landed on 100. I don't know. But it's the questions that we answer along with how nice are people in Texas questions. We answer all the questions here on the No Regrets podcast. Make sure you subscribe because it's a fun time.
Chickens weigh 6.5 to 8.5 pounds.
So they got pointy beaks.
Roosters are 8.5. The chickens.
How many chickens do you
The hens
think
are
you
6.5.
could fight off at once?
I mean, you just grab them by the neck and break their necks.
You only have 2 hands. What if all 20 of them came at you at the same time? You're the donkey. Imagine you are the donkey.
I could easily.
What do you do?
I could easily kill 20 chickens. Like without it.
What
even
if they
thinking
came
twice.
like stacked on each other and they're like pecking at you up here in the eyeballs?
You just kick in the middle of them and they all fall.
Okay. Wow. You have an answer for everything around here. There you go. What is something that changed your perspective big time for the better? It's a very loaded question. What is something that changed your perspective big time for the better? There's nothing specific about it. Life, man. We talk about life on this podcast. Something that has changed my perspective for the better.
That's a deep question.
No. We went from chickens and donkeys to this. It's going to sound so cheesy. Do you have an answer yet? Can you start this one off so I don't sound so cheesy? I don't think there's any.
I think in my life it was playing team sports and being on football teams with a bunch of different people from a bunch of different backgrounds.
I was going to go with like meeting people. You always like learn something when you meet
But it's
people.
you're with a group of people, all different backgrounds, all different types of lifestyles being brought up, and you come together to accomplish a common goal. Is that just gives you a lot of perspective on life and kind of can change how you see you get to be brothers with those people. So it can definitely change. What was the exact question? Change kind of your outlook
Yeah.
or change how you see the world. So doing accomplishing something as part of a team of a group of people, especially if we're all different as it is, but especially when you come from all different places. Like when I played at the academy, people from all over the country, all different types of people. So that's what I would say.
I love it. Good for you. Some of us didn't grow up in team sports. That's why I was the black-hearted individual that I was growing up. I wasn't that mean, but I was kind of mean. Just knew what I wanted. I have 2.
Probably similar, like coaching for you, maybe.
Yeah, because where I'm going, I don't know if there's like a specific way I can put this. It's just like every person you like come in contact with is like so uniquely different, and we like like in the end we're all just human beings trying to figure this thing out. And I think as I've been like coaching and involved in like trying to help a lot of people, and you guys around here help me right back, it's just like, I mean, I kind of lost my train of thought. But, like, everybody's just trying to figure this thing out, trying to learn who they are. And when you can really accept that about yourself and accept that within, like, other people, if we're all just learning from each other, you really can see, like, the good in people and see where you can just learn from each other. The other answer that I had to that was really, really cheesy was just, like, being in love. So squishy. Gross. But I was like, man, it's really empowering when you have someone by your side that makes you feel like you can literally do anything in the entire world. Like, gives you that confidence. And I've joked with you in the past, like, I never thought I was such an individual. Like, you're talking about growing up in team sports and everything. I was such an individual that I never saw myself, like, being partnered up with someone or having a life teammate, because I'm always just like, I just get the work done no matter what. I'll just beat my head against the wall trying to figure out how to do everything. And so the other part of that answer is, like, squishy love stuff, because I think, I mean, whatever we put our minds to, like, we can accomplish and do together. So just community, people. As much as I joke sometimes that people drive me insane, I just love all the people, like, being able to reach so many people through podcasts, through social media, through the gym. Like, I don't really know how to, I'm not really answering this question, but man, community's really changed my life, or shaped my life, not changed, shaped.
Yeah.
Cool. Last question. And this is Coach Jen's question of the week. Woo! I want to get, like,
She has her own little
confetti,
section.
like, boo, you know what things I'm talking about? The party blower thingies. Okay. Coach Jen's question of the week is, if you came with a disclaimer, what would it say?
If you
personally. I told her, because she's the one that gives us, like, all the random questions on here, the crazy questions. So I'm like, Jen, you have your own segment now. I don't know how you come up with this stuff. And then she throws this one at us. It's not like, do you put ketchup on eggs? That was last week's. That one was easy. This one's like, there are so many things that we could put, I feel like, on either of us. That would be wild. And you know what we should do? Make a disclaimer for each other.
Ooh. Sheesh.
I'm trying to think.
Do not touch.
What? That's my disclaimer?
You get so angry if someone touches you.
I mean, if they're just, like, up in my personal space without me knowing. I'm just like, that. But if they're, like, personal space, guys, just I'll leave it at that. Wow,
Or something,
that's my disclaimer, is do not touch.
There could be one of, like, warning.
I would just say, like, unhinged.
Like, warning, do not bother for 1 hour after waking up.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
A little bit of
that's part of the reason I don't like to nap, is I'm just angry after. Like, I don't want to see anyone for a solid 30 minutes. And then I'm like, okay, I feel better now. For you, you see that sweet face? Do you guys see that? There's a lot happening, like, behind it, like, in here. And I know that. I don't know if you're, like,
something about
secretly judges, or you don't judge people. You're
Oh,
just,
I
like,
do.
always
If I'm
like, always
road
thoughtful.
rage, something to do with
Yeah,
road
let's just say road rage, too. But that's a small one.
I'm just very efficient, and
Yeah,
I like people that
judges.
know the driving rules, and it makes me crazy when people don't.
Beware of bear. Like, he's like the cute teddy bear on the outside, and then, like, very smart bear. Very wise old bear. Okay, let's wrap this up. But you guys get what I mean? Like, look at him. Very curious. Okay, we're gonna stop this now. What would Blitz's be?
God.
There would be so many things. Just eats
No, it'd have to be
headbands. Eats tape. Zip bags. Zip your gym bags if you ever visit Bolt. That's Blitz's downfall, is digging through gym bags.
fast and the fartiest.
There you go. That's
Fast and the
very,
fartiest.
very accurate. Fast and farty. The fast and the fartiest. Okay. We'll wrap it up. That was a great time. Oh, we're gonna give a workout? Do you have any workouts?
Workout.
I haven't even thought through any workouts.
Do a quick one.
I'll give Monday's class workout. I like that row buy-in. Is that cool?
Okay, you didn't do that one though.
But I liked it. Oh, no, let's do... No, yesterday's was too confusing to say on the podcast.
Why? You can put it on there.
I can. Boop. Put it on there. 15, 12, 9. Burpee dumbbell deadlift. Box jump over. 1 minute rest.
1 minute.
Then 9, 12, 15. Burpee box jump over. And single arm, aka suitcase, deadlifts on each side. I'll put it, boop, right there. It'll already be right there. That was a cool one to watch the class do. I did, a version of it, games version, something like it. All right, fun times. Don't forget to ask us some questions at Get That Fuse News.
Help us get to 11,000 on YouTube.
11,000, like, subscribe, and thanks for hanging with us. For Becca, Matt, and Blitz, we out. Peace out.